Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
This is an exciting episode because it might sound a little bit at times like we're on a bit of an excursion, Nelson, because we're in some pretty sweltering heat right now here in Melbourne. And this podcast room doesn't get much ventilation, so we've got some doors and some windows open.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of it's going to bleed through, but just before we started, there was a lot of birds.
Yeah.
So apology. I know we're a podcast primarily known for one thing above all, which is good sound.
Yeah.
And then second to that is Reddit.
Yeah. That's right.
I think it's like a bit of a fun end-of-year excursion, you could think of it as.
Yeah.
In fact, if nothing comes through, we'll add nature sounds in.
Yeah. You might even also get the bogan neighbor talking about how sweaty his balls are.
It could be. He does yell it a lot.
Yeah. Camber.
Oh, they're so sweaty!
Oh,
there he is.
There he goes again. Yeah.
My balls, that is!
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Camber, it's the best of Reddit 2019.
Oh, my God.
End of a decade.
End of a decade. Okay, so what do you think, by the way?
Yeah.
There are people that are claiming that the decade ends next year because they're saying, well, technically it starts on 1. So it would be.
It doesn't start
I
on
know. But there is it's like a flat earther thing.
Yeah.
There are like a movement of people being
Yeah.
like, at the end of the decade is next year.
Yeah. There's normal people, then there's idiots,
Yeah.
just like flat earthers and normal people.
Good. I'm just glad that we're dismissing
okay.
that right off the bat.
Good. Cambo, I've decided to, before we get into the episode, just very quickly, I've decided I hate this podcast. and the main reason why I hate this podcast is because
Too much editing.
it does so much editing. Is because I have to put the show notes together every week.
Yeah.
That's such a pain in the butt. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
I sometimes spend hours. I was up until like 1 a.m. Yesterday morning doing it. So what I've decided to do to maybe try and make that part of it better.
Yep.
So then this part of it is bearable. is I'm going to start streaming doing the show notes on Twitch.
Very cool.
Because I quite often get just lost on tangents, clicking on different links. Because I don't know whether you've noticed, but Reddit is a very visual media as well. Yeah. So there's a lot that I can't use that I find amusing.
Right.
So I thought it's a little bit of extra content if you're interested in. So I don't even think there'll be too much spoilers if you're worried about, what if you're just going to talk about, your thoughts on the topic before it gets to the podcast. But I don't.
First of all, we very rarely ever stick to what Reddit thread is.
Yeah, that's right.
My heart was like, it was up, like my beats per minute.
Your
was
heart
up.
rate,
'Cause I thought you were going to ask me to do more.
Yeah.
Oh
Don't worry, Campo. I know you wouldn't.
Because Nelson, I don't know if you know this, but I also hate this show.
Yeah.
But for no reason. I just hate it.
But so just to finish this point off, you can follow our Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv /Reddit podcast, READIT podcast.
Imagine if because we
to
use that handle everything, right? Reddit podcast, READIT podcast. We should pick one thing and to change it.
Yeah.
REDDIT
Just to
podcast.
annoy people.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to be streaming on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Australian time, which is 10 p.m. on the Friday Eastern Standard Time, and I think 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Friday, if you're in America. So just if you're anywhere else, you just have to figure it out. I thought about getting a list. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yes, so 2 p.m. here, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And feel free to come along and have a look around. But yeah, okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
Cambo. So this, just like last year, for those who might not have listened to that many episodes, we go through the top posts of 2019. I go through the r/all and I rate them from most upvoted. And I'm going to give you kind of a bit of a quiz to see if you can guess which ones have been most upvoted, what Reddit has put its time and effort into this past year. And also in the different categories that we do, I'm just going to do the top posts of those categories, or hereabouts. If we'd done them before, I'm going to ignore them.
Yep.
And yes, okay. So these next ones that I read out to you are the top 3 posts of the entire year. I need you to tell me which one you think is the highest upvoted one. This first one is by user Sir Grapho, and it was in the gaming subreddit. It said, take your time. And this was an image, so I'll explain this to you. It's a image of a big hulky guy with a massive sword and huge armor, and he's taking arrow shots to the back, and he's bending over, protecting a much smaller person holding a wooden sword.
Yep.
And the big guy is saying, okay, now press space to jump. And the caption at the top reads, showing a game you mastered for many years to someone you care about.
Right.
The next one is from the user Spectra2000. This was in the subreddit. You fell for it, fool. This is a meme that I have zero idea about.
Oh, good.
I had zero idea about this, which I feel like is surprising. I'm not saying that I'm always up with the memes, but you have to remember this is at least one of the top 3 upvoted of the year. And I had never seen or heard about this. Just very strange. Anyway, so it's a 2-panel anime picture of a guy. So it's like sort of screenshots of an anime show. It's a picture of a guy with a flat top mullet haircut, big muscles. His hands are glowing. In the first panel, he says, "You fell for it, fool." And the second panel, he says, "Thundercross split attack." And the so that was another one.
Wait, so that's the whole meme.
That's the whole meme. That's the whole meme. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, obviously.
So crazy that so many people have uploaded this. I have just no idea about it. Okay, the last one is by user Free Speech Warrior, and it was in the subreddit Pics.
So these are all pictures.
These are all pictures. I did not.
I'll tell you what would be good, a live stream.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So this one says, given that Reddit just took a $150 million investment from a Chinese censorship powerhouse, I thought it would be nice to post this picture of Tank Man at Tiananmen Square before our new glorious overlords decide we could not post it anymore. So that one, at least, you probably know the image, the very famous image.
I do. The man standing in front of the tank in Tiananmen, or tanks in Tiananmen Square, with his shopping bags.
Yeah. And there's actually quite a... it was interesting as I was sort of scrolling through Reddit. There were a couple of photos of Tiananmen Square shots and of different angles. One, somebody posting saying, "Oh, this is the shot you should be showing," and it's the one where there's lots of bodies, dead bodies afterwards. Sort of after that moment, or the one where normally that picture of the tank man, he it's very zoomed in on him, and then you can only see maybe 2 or 3 tanks. But there's a large one zoomed out, and you see heaps of tanks in the background.
Lines and lines of tanks.
And it's sort of it's interesting. I think both are kind of like powerful in their own ways. Like you see the closer up one, how sort of looming the tank is, I think, over him. And then in the zoomed out one, you see how looming the army is, over this sort of area, these people. It's really interesting. But anyway, of those 3, which do you think was you can rate them one to 3.
Look, I'm gonna go my preferences here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say what I fear that it really is.
Okay.
So I think that the most interesting one is about the Reddit investment from the large Chinese firm and the Tiananmen Square. That is the kind of thing that Reddit normally gets behind. Though it is still available to view. So
yes.
how old was the post?
That one I think was pretty old. I didn't put down the months of all of them.
Could have been
how many
an
months ago.
overreaction.
But yes, I think probably. I think it was like at least 9 months. Like it was quite a decent amount of time. Yeah.
So that one's the
But
most.
still, it starts with that.
That one's the most interesting for me.
Yep.
And then the original meme about showing someone a game that you've mastered.
Yeah.
You're the big man protecting the little person with a wooden sword.
Yeah. Have you seen that meme, by the way?
Yes. I'm familiar with the meme format.
Because that one's, had some quite different settings.
Yes,
that same sort of meme.
Not always about gaming. And then the third one about the meme that I understand, but I can't explain to you for various reasons.
Yeah.
I'll put third.
What would you call that meme again? Like if you were to call it something, what would you call that meme? Because you know it really well.
Anime meme.
No,
That's
very broad.
Nelson.
Very broad, Cambo.
It's the shorthand that I use. People that know.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I think people might just nod their hands like, I know anime memes, yes. And you're like, yes, that specific one.
So that's the order I would put them in, but I do fear that it's actually the reverse.
The reverse is no, not true. You're
wrong
both ways.
No, I didn't mean reverse. I meant the meme I don't understand top.
Yeah.
Tiananmen Square second, and then the other one third.
Yeah, wrong. The top one is the gaming one.
Okay.
The next one is the meme that I don't understand.
Oh my god.
And the last one is the Tiananmen Square.
But that's the most interesting.
I know. I thought this was interesting. I mean, obviously the thing is nobody knows what is getting what upvotes. And I think what's an interesting thing about Reddit or social media in general is that depending on when you post something can depend on how popular it becomes because how often it's seen. And you'd think that one of these ones, so to put it in perspective, the gaming one had 262,000 votes. The meme one got 246,000 and the Tiananmen Square one got 228,000. So there is kind of a significant difference, maybe 40,000 sort of votes for between the top one and the Tiananmen Square one. But I think there is still an element of if you're doing it at the right time, you're likely to get more upvotes, regardless of necessarily what the topic is.
Yeah, it is like a perfect storm of circumstance.
Yeah. I mean, when you get to the top, it's probably only small differences, but I think there is that element that
for sure,
if you were to post these three on Reddit right now and you said, upvote these ones as you see fit, I believe that, the Tiananmen Square one would probably reach the top.
What's interesting is I'm far more active on Reddit than once I was, and as you are every week.
Yeah.
I didn't upvote any of these.
I don't upvote at all.
No, do you not?
I do a little bit, but not anywhere near as much as I should. There's a lot of memes guilting people for not upvoting, and every time I upvote those ones, obviously.
I'm pretty liberal with my upvote.
Okay. Yeah. I downvote a lot. Because I hate people.
You want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way, that will avoid it being content for this show, which you hate.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to do... here's another 2, Cambo. Okay. You have to choose which one is higher in upvotes. This was by user Ikujan, and it was in the subreddit Pix. By the way, Pix has a lot of highly upvoted things.
Because such engaging content.
I think it's because everyone, or at least everyone, used to be auto subscribed to Pix. So I think you naturally have more people looking at those. Anyway, the caption says, "This is Dr. Katie Bauwoman, the computer scientist behind the first ever image of a black hole. She developed the algorithm that turned telescopic data into the historic photo we see today."
Bit blurry, though. Can we get that feedback back to her?
Pretty blurry.
I don't know if people have seen this photo. It's amazing because it's a black hole.
Yeah.
But, I mean, chuck an autofocus on.
I mean...
Most cameras come with them.
Here's
no, it wasn't a camera. It was a bunch of data collected to put... Chuck an autofocus on that.
Yeah. The technology exists, guys.
Probably.
That's true. Like, I could have drawn that.
Take it into Photoshop, get the sharpness level, put it all the way up.
All the way up.
All the way up.
All the way.
Let's really see that black hole.
Yeah. Contrast?
And don't tell me a black hole is fuzzy. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Or orange, for that matter. But yes, the other one is by Foxy Dog in the subreddit Pics. And the caption was "Democracy Now." And it was a picture of thousands protesting in Hong Kong, all holding up lights. Up in there was a huge sign that reads "Free Hong Kong, Democracy Now."
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is tough because Reddit does love science.
Yeah.
But Reddit loves the Hong Kong protesters.
Yes. That's why I think that this is a good one.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Hong Kong protesters only because I think they're like a hotter issue at the moment on Reddit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go Hong Kong protesters and then Black Hole.
Here's what I would have given you points for.
Okay.
If you had said, in the top 100 posts of this year, most of them would be about the Hong Kong protests, you'd win some bloody points, mate.
Good.
But
I'll take them.
on this instance, it was actually the Black Hole.
Really?
215,000 votes for that one and 213,000 votes for the Hong Kong.
That actually makes me happy. Because I think that is not that the Hong Kong protesters aren't important, but the scientific breakthrough that is like photographing a black hole for the first time and taking all these theories and putting them into some kind of like perspective and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
over
good.
The long run of history, I think will be more significant.
I have some comments at the end,
please,
that will feed directly into I think what you're saying. But okay, here's another one.
Again, a bit out of focus, but I'll forgive it.
Yeah.
With the photo of the protesters, in focus, out of focus?
In focus. Yeah, pretty well. Like you could zoom in on fake faces.
Changed my mind.
Yeah. That's way better. Okay, this now you have to guess between the two of the most upvoted posts related to Donald Trump. Okay?
Yep.
The first one is in the subreddit World News.
Yep.
It's by user Macho Nacho Taco. Got it. And it says Trump impeached for abuse of power.
Yep.
The second post is in memes. And this is by user Hey Can We Die? And they've put a heading at the top, Simpsons predicted it yet again.
Right.
And this had some images. There was like a few panels and it had images of Greta Thunberg, the climate change activist, who's very, I think 14, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I think 14, yeah.
Ish.
Ish, yeah. And,
mid-teens.
And then like Lisa Simpson, and then there was a post of a like Springfield paper that says Springfield cleans up act, pushy kid nags town. But I actually read some of the comments of this, and funnily enough, when somebody points out that the first frame, which really kind of ties it all together, is just fake.
Oh, really?
Like somebody drew a Simpsons style cartoon that mimicked Lisa and Greta sort of together next to Trump.
Because there is... The Simpsons have successfully predicted a Trump presidency.
Yeah.
There is an episode that is set in the future, and Lisa is the president. It's like a I don't know if it's a Halloween special or what. No, it's not. It's just like she goes to a fortune teller. She sees the future.
Yeah.
And she is the president, and someone says, well, you've inherited all this debt from President Trump.
Yeah.
But there's also once Donald Trump decided to run for the president in like 2015, before the 2016 elections, there was that famous footage of him coming down like that gold escalator.
Yeah. And that was like
and the Simpsons then parodied that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so that came after that footage, but that is the thing that everyone uses to say, look, the Simpsons predicted Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, so Simpsons meme or impeachment news.
Yeah.
Now, so far, I'm 2 for 2 losing.
Yes.
I did get those extra points that you gave me.
Did I give it?
Yeah, I think you gave it.
I don't think I did. I actually listened back to our last episode last year.
Yeah.
Best Reddit 2018, just to see if I had the similar format right. I think we should go by those point system rules.
Okay.
Negative 10,000
Yep.
for a wrong answer, plus 100 for a correct one.
Cool. So I'm in the red.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the article about impeachment number 1, the meme number 2.
Yes, you are correct. Yes.
Only because I think our world news is probably more like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could be.
Probably not.
I don't know. They'd be close
Yeah.
to each other. But yeah, that's true. And that I think last year we found actually there was another post related to Trump. It was about him having toilet paper stuck on his foot.
Oh yeah.
And another one about, I don't know, probably him being
Like
close
an
to
actual,
impeachment.
An actual
So,
news story. Yeah.
And I think that we sort of learned that the slightly more serious elements actually normally get more upvotes.
Because I think there are people that use. I think
Except
the
for that
majority.
stupid anime meme before. I don't know how that got above the
I
Hong Kong
get it.
process.
I get it. But so I think primarily people that use Reddit are slightly younger, but there are an audience on Reddit that are a little older.
Yeah.
That I think would also subscribe to like world news.
Yeah.
That wouldn't necessarily subscribe to memes.
Yeah.
As sometimes I hear boomers call them.
Memes.
Memes.
Oh, God.
So for that reason, I think that the news story always slightly does a little bit better than like the meme version.
Yeah. Okay, you did well on that one.
Thank you.
This is the next one is, what was the highest r/or post in regard to? Was it in regard to a cat, a dog, a child, or a monkey?
Better not be a child, I swear to God.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. I need to put my biases aside
Yeah.
because I like dogs.
Yes. And I remind you, last year it was a frog, little
It
frog.
was a frog. I'm gonna go monkey
Okay, monkey.
because I feel like they're less common in all, so therefore it might be like a rarity.
Might be more upvoted.
Yeah.
Yes. Incorrect,
Oh, no.
Cambo. It was in fact a dog.
Oh gosh, she's going with my heart and not my head.
Yeah. Last year I think you got it right. I think maybe the frog. But
Who knows? Not me.
anyway, that post was by Social Pronk, and got 193,000 upvotes. And it was a video. This dog was in training, and what it was meant to do is the dog was meant to run up to the owner and just sit in front of her.
Yep.
But it just runs up and then does a few zoomies just around in circles and then sits down. It was like pretty cute.
Pretty cute.
But I actually wanted to give a shout out to the Vasily Zaitsev, who posted a photo of his daughter holding her baby sister, and the face on this girl is hilarious. It is really awesome. She's just got this like super nervous, like so worried about dropping her, and she's like really young herself, maybe like 2 or something.
Yep.
And it's just like, she's like, oh God, I'm not ready for this responsibility. And it's just really well framed. So I thought that was really funny.
Just as a bit of extra content, I would recommend this video to people. It's years old now. It's from like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
But it's on YouTube, so look it up. It's dog-related content.
Okay.
In New Zealand, they had this program where they took rescue dogs, like dogs that had been rescued from abuse or that had been abandoned or whatever, and they taught them to drive cars. And there is this amazing footage of a dog driving a car.
What?
It's the best thing
That's
in the world.
insane.
I re-saw it again today, like it popped up again today.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic because he is sitting like a man
Yeah.
in a car with his little paws on the steering wheel with a woman beside him.
Yeah.
And he's just so chill driving a car. It's the best.
It sounds like my worst nightmare. Okay. We've got just a couple more. This first one is by it's which is the, you know what, I think like we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit. This is by this one you have to get the top upvoted celebrity post.
Sure.
I tried to get ones that were about the celebrity themselves. So, for example, there was one of D'Angelo from The Office, who plays
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I forgot his name, and
Of
I
all the
remembered
famous-
his character name.
Of all the famous
Anyway,
Will Ferrell
shut up.
roles, D'Angelo Vickers from a 3-episode arc on The Office.
You say 3-episode arc,
is
Cambo.
number 1.
I've watched that many times. Anyway, no, I just wanted to say that
He's Ron Burgundy.
I didn't include ones that were like that because it wasn't really about him. It was like just him. It was actually a guy who animated D'Angelo juggling.
Oh, right.
It's
So
really-
it was
it's
D'Angelo
really
Vickers
funny.
related.
Yeah, it was D'Angelo because that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
that I didn't include that one.
Yeah.
It made sense in the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, it does actually. Now that I've listened and let you speak everything, it makes more sense.
It wasn't. I was just like trying to. Yeah. Okay. I can see how weird that would have been. Okay. So this first one is by Tylent Green, and it was in the subreddit Pics. My friend and I replaced Christmas with Brucemas, where we exchange Bruce Willis themed gifts each year. I win forever, and yes, it's real. It is Bruce Willis holding a picture of himself that he signed, and the picture says Brucemas, like I win Brucemas or something like that.
So Bruce Willis holding a picture of Bruce Willis.
Of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, great.
That's signed. Then user GMCL86 in the subreddit it has an overexcited fan finally meets Hugh Jackman and can't control himself. And there's like some stage performance of Hugh Jackman, and this fan, like this guy just goes nuts. Like he's loving seeing Hugh Jackman. It was actually quite funny, like entertaining. And you kind of are like, I'm glad this guy got to meet Hugh Jackman, because like he really loves the shit out of him. He's like giving him high fives a lot, and Hugh Jackman like grabbed his phone and stuff. It was pretty funny. And JCE Piano had Jeopardy's Alex Trebek reveals that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Yeah. Okay. I want to say number one is Brucemas, because I feel like Reddit gets behind. Great. And Reddit gets behind dumb stuff like this a lot, I think.
And this was last Christmas, but it was in this year.
Right,
but it was for last Christmas. So it was quite a long time.
But Alex Trebek having cancer, I imagine, was in a news sub, which normally do quite well.
It was in videos, actually. Because I think that he just
did on
talked.
The show.
Yeah,
it's on the show. Now I'm going to stick with Brucemas.
Brucemas, it was actually the Hugh Jackman.
Oh, was it
fan.
really?
Yeah, they had 149,000. And Brucemas and the Alex Trebek one both had 143,000 upvotes. Yes, but spot on. I think the Brucemas just scraped ahead of it. But yes, there you go. That's all I've got for this first part.
Great. Pretty short.
Pretty short. This is going to be a short episode. But so I did want to sort of touch on, I feel like that summary there did not really summarize what Reddit was about this year.
It was about r/Reddit podcast.
Reddit.
That's where memes
the
in
people
there.
were.
You want memes? There's memes in there.
Yeah.
Some of them are horrifying.
But honestly, I actually felt like this was a really depressing year of Reddit. From what I remember looking at last year, going through the top upvoted things, and then going through it now, there was so much more negativity.
Oh, that's
there was
sad.
A lot about the Hong Kong protests. A lot about Trump being impeached, or his, being an idiot in many ways. Do you know what he said? I wrote a note for this before, but do you know the tweet that he sent to Greta? Oh, about Greta.
Oh, yeah. About
he sent a few.
Chill out and watch a movie with a friend.
He says, so ridiculous. Greta must work on her anger management problem. Then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill.
Yeah.
What
because I do remember Greta changed her Twitter bio to going to see a good old-fashioned movie with a friend.
Yeah.
What I find funniest about this, because they definitely don't see the irony here, is that Melania Trump, his wife, has just started a campaign to stop cyberbullying. The very thing he is doing to this teenage girl.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, but then there was also there was lots of falsified news stories with some of the things at the top. There was lots of Tiananmen Square photos, I think, that tied in with the Hong Kong protests. There was a lot about China concentration camps as well, a few posts about that. It was actually really depressing.
Yeah, it's quite negative.
That a lot of the top posts were about negative things in the world. I mean, I think it's kind of... they're negative things. There is a silver lining, which is that it's being brought attention, these negative things, which I think is important. But it's a little rough.
Would you say the metaphor here is our listeners are a little person with a wooden sword, and we are a giant muscular man shading them from all of the negative of Reddit and just giving them the positive?
That's absolutely true. Yeah. Until I start talking about how much I hate dogs. I want to die. It's pretty negative. No, but I did want to, because of this, I wanted to make note of some of the uplifting things over this year.
Yeah, great.
Not as many, but, you know. One thing which I thought was really good was the hashtag trash tag.
Yes.
That was like a really good movement. Yeah, I think
we talked about this in the past.
Yeah, we spoke about it. So that was like there was a few posts at the top of people doing this. I think maybe I didn't realize how this started, but I think maybe the first guy who started it, because I saw one that had this guy sitting in, like a field of dirt, and he was like, oh, how about if kids these days showed an area like this and then cleaned it up like this? And if that was the first one, like, bloody brilliant, mate, because that took off. And I think there's some really amazing photos out there of people cleaning up different areas. One we did already speak about, but the black hole discovery, there's quite a few photos, posts about that. And also posts about people breaking into Area 51, which is just kind of funny and pretty good. But yes, that's it for Reddit. Hopefully next year will be less depressing.
Hopefully.
And now let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. Okay, this Ask Reddit is by... Oh, God. So I have a lot here. I'm not going to do all of them. This was kind of stupid one. This was by user Shoddy Substance, who did this I'm going to say just in the first few days of 2019. People who haven't pooped in 2019, why are you still holding on to last year's shit?
I want to know how into 2019 he posted that.
That's true.
He posted that like 2 weeks into 2019.
Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, what?
yeah. You've got to... I think he's got the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe. If he's holding on to shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll make this funny post because everybody is probably like me and keeping their shit in. He needs to eat prunes, mate.
This is the dad joke, isn't it, of Ask Reddit. The I'll see you next year dad joke. Or I imagine dads are having a field day with see you next decade. Haven't seen you all decade.
Oh my God.
I'd be loving that.
So many possibilities. Yeah. I didn't even consider that when we went into a new millennia.
Oh my God.
Could have wasted opportunity there. But
well, you're too busy scared about Y2K.
Yeah, well, that's true. It was a serious concern. Do you feel as though, Cambo, you're still holding on to some metaphorical shit
from 2019?
From 2019, or maybe something that you're worried about you're going to enter 2020 into?
With, you know what? I think that, maybe you can correct me here because maybe I just have this like self-aggrandizing view of myself.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a pretty leisurely guy. And not too much bogs me down.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm even holding on stuff from last week.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty all right.
I think your problem, if anything, is not holding on enough. I think you've got some very important commitments that you quite frequently forget about.
Stacey has quite an uphill battle with this relationship.
Yeah.
Someone's like, wait, what are you doing here? What are you?
Yeah.
we still living together?
This is what I'd like you to do, Cambo, just once in this new year, is to remember an episode that we do, like afterwards.
Right. Do you want me to remember this one?
You can have a pass on this one. We're not in 2020 just yet. Yeah, great. But when we are, Cambo, just one.
Okay.
Mate, try it.
I feel like I did a retrospective through Reddit ladies of episode 1. Is that not an episode that I remember?
You had to research it, and I ended up having more notes than you did. No, not acceptable at all.
Okay.
But
so the shit you want me to hold on to is knowledge of this show.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
We'll see
so that was one of the most top upvoted ones of this year of Ask Reddit. I'm going to want to briefly touch on this one. This was by KA1. How would you feel about a feature where if someone upvotes a cross post, the original post is upvoted automatically? This was the most upvoted, which I think, I could be wrong, but I think this happens now. No, maybe I just made that up. But I hate this question so much.
Why is that? Because it's like, well, who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. It's
This is dumb.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is, why were the people against this?
No, I mean, I didn't go into comments, but it was one of the top voted. In fact, I think I might have even done this in order. So this is the second highest upvoted Ask Reddit post of 2019.
Yeah.
Which is basically the whole problem with Reddit.
Yeah.
Is that some people post to Karma Farm, and this person is just like, I'm going to ask a generic question that obviously people are going to agree with.
Do you think we could Karma Farm if we just posted from our podcast account, like in Ask Reddit? How would people feel about getting free money? All the time? Would people like that?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Now I feel like you have to have something that seems like there's a negative, like there's another side to it, but it doesn't. You know, I think just like getting more money. You know, there's a bit much, but it's like maybe what if we all our leftover food went to starving kids in Africa, you know?
Yeah.
Then there's like implications of how would you get there and all the costs associated. People might want, I mean, everybody's going to agree because that's the point. But,
you've never claimed to have the solution.
Yeah.
You're just pondering what if.
Yeah. It's just, anyway, that annoys me. Okay, let's, here's another one. It's on a similar sort of
is it just
vein.
bait for upvotes?
It turns out I'm just hating on some Redditors this episode.
And now I know where all the negativity from Reddit comes
from. Okay, so this one is by Fraktari. They said, Iceland just announced that every Icelander over the age of 18 automatically become organ donors with ability to opt out. How do you feel about this? Bloody brilliant. It's ridiculous that no other part of the world... Well, okay, some other parts of the world do this.
Yeah, but
most don't do this. It's so... Nobody needs to hold on to their organs after they're dead. Give them up, buddy.
What do you think about... Because there are people that are like, oh, yeah, I would give away some of my organs, but like, I don't want my eyes to go. That's too personal. You're dead.
It's not.
You're so dead. They're a muscle. Like, it's so useless to you.
And...
Like, take my dick if you want it. Like, it doesn't matter.
Nobody wants that.
No.
Cameron, nobody wants that.
So, like, it's like your dick is burnt off. We do have this other dick. Like,
no. Just cut it off. Just whatever remains. Just clean that up.
And burn that one.
Burn that one. They're like, yeah, we were going to. Honestly, you were the last person we thought we'd ask.
You were between me and the incinerator. So I thought I would check one last time.
Yeah.
But
it's not even
the whole way. Everyone's rejected it so far.
Yeah. It's not even in an icebox. You're just carrying it in a plastic bag.
Quickly check. What about the balls? No, balls as well. All right. Incinerate both.
Yeah. But I think we've actually spoken about this organ donor thing before. But it's like, just take everything from me. Why nobody needs anything once they're dead?
It's like a clearance sale.
Yeah,
take everything.
Because I think there's here's like where I think religion sometimes can fail in these instances where almost all religions were created pre-scientific discovery.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, let's just say the organs are really important when you're dead.
Well, and there's things I maybe getting this wrong. I think it's Jehovah's Witness.
Blood transfusions.
And stuff like that. Where it's like,
but just why? That one at least is more impactful against them. You know, they're sick. Normally, someone needs a blood transfusion. It's less likely that they're doing it for somebody else. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Unless someone was in a horrendous accident and there are only Jehovah's Witnesses around and they need their blood. In that rare instance, it's negative to the person.
It's quite annoying. Yeah. I don't know. I sort of think as well, like maybe then you should have, if you're like, oh, well, I'm not an organ donor because of religious reasons or whatever those might be, then you can't get organs if you ever.
Ooh.
I think that
good.
should be
That's good.
the rule.
Do it in
like you can opt out, but by opting out, you're also opting out of you getting any organs. I think
You
that
should post
be
that
a
on
thing.
Ask Reddit.
Oh my god, I should. Slight moral quandary, but people will still probably agree
it's a
with
very
that.
clear.
Yeah. Okay, Cambo, I think we need to go into Today I Learned.
So now it's time for Today I Learned.
Today I Learned.
And also sometimes advice.
Got you again, Nelson.
Got me again. Got me again every time. Okay. This is from user Fire from Tons of Liars. This is the most upvoted in shitty advice, I think. Is it okay to dump your girlfriend because she's not cool with my dog living inside my house? Like, what the fuck? This dog is my total bro. He deserves to be inside the house as much as anybody.
There's so many questions though. Is it a shit dog? Because I love dogs, but there are shit dogs.
There's so many shit dogs.
I remember
He called the dog his total bro.
which makes me think it's a
It's
shit
a
dog.
shit dog. Yeah. Because shit dogs come from shit owners.
Like, there was one dog I used to know, and it would it knew how to open the dishwasher, and then it would just lick the plates.
Yeah.
Like in the dish, and that was one
Is
of
that a good dog? No, I'm not sure.
one of the many things.
Do you know what it would be?
It was a shit dog. So if
Yeah.
I say, well, I was going to date my friend, I'd be like, no, I don't want the dog in the house. It's a shit dog.
Yeah. I think the problem with it licking the dishes is, when sometimes you're not sure whether the dishes are clean or dirty, you open it up. If they've been licked clean, they're clean. You're like, oh, pop those back in the cupboard. And you've got
Good boy.
dog licked. Yeah. I tend to disagree. This is what my overall arching statement is going to be. I don't think any animal is really worth a relationship. So,
But also, I would say, if this is a problem, you want to bro down with your dog, they're not happy, then maybe you're not that compatible. Because you have different priorities when it comes to stuff like that as well.
you might find somebody who asks the same thing, but you're more compatible with that person. Perhaps, I know this is obviously like specific reason.
But if that is a big enough issue that you're considering breaking up, then I think that's a pretty clear sign that this relationship maybe isn't that compatible.
How do you... she's only saying that the dog has to, I guess, live outdoors. Okay. Because I was going to say, how do you break up with a dog? If you had to move it,
It's a good point.
put it up for adoption somewhere.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to, right? You'd have to find a new owner.
Yeah.
And then I feel if that dog's your bro, you'd want to vet that owner.
Yeah.
To make sure he's going to bro down with the dog sufficiently.
Yeah. You'd be like, give him his squeaky toy in the morning because he loves to wake up for that. And give him some extra treats on the weekends because he knows it's the weekend.
And also, just let the dog inside when they're not around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
It's not. I don't think he really loved this person.
No.
I'm gonna say now.
I think he was looking for an out.
Yeah. So is it okay to dump your girlfriend? Yes.
Sure.
But don't cover it up with the dog thing.
Yeah. This question is really, is it okay to dump your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yes. Circumstances permit, obviously. But yes.
Yeah, that's right. When do you think it's not okay to dump your girlfriend, Cambo, even though you're not in love with them?
Their birthday,
Okay. Yeah.
Christmas, any big family event, I would say.
Okay. How about if they are terminally ill?
Well,
Can you break up with them?
I don't know how dark to go with this.
I mean, it's a dark question, but somebody out there is going through this right now.
How terminally ill are they? Is this
Terminally ill means they're going to die.
Is this like a 3-month thing, or is this within 2 years?
Let's start with 3 months.
Just wait.
Just wait. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably wait 3 months. Yeah.
But if it's like 2 years,
Yeah. What if they are like, let's have a kid.
in their terminally
Let's
ill.
get you pregnant.
Right.
And even though I won't be around.
Yeah. I want to bring something into this world.
Yeah, you'll have my child.
Look, I think that there is nothing wrong with you saying, I'm not as cool with this.
I would,
because like
secretly go, because I'm imagining obviously that it would be the guy that's terminally ill, because the girl obviously couldn't carry it through.
Yeah.
So, then if I was the girl, I'd just take some preventative measures and be like, oh, it didn't work. Oh, what a bugger. Okay, good. Scenario number 2.
Yep.
6 months, Cambo.
How bad is the relationship? Is it just because you don't want to be around while they die?
No,
Look,
no. It's you don't love the person.
Okay. I guess if you love them, you would stick around.
Yeah. Yeah. I love you so much, but I don't want to see you die. So see you later.
6 months. Look, I it's difficult. It would also depend on whether they have like a family and friends around them as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're all they have, I would stick it out for 6 months, I think.
That's true. It's a very tough because it's very situational.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, do you know what I think I'd do, which would be a real dick move?
I mean, this whole thing is a bit of a dick move.
Well, I mean, is it though?
No, but
there's people that would go through this, and it's
we're catering to a very niche audience.
We're very niche audience, but that's what we do. People ask for advice, which is basically what this said. This guy said, should I dump my girlfriend because she's not cool with my dog living inside my house? Also, she's terminally ill. But yeah, I think it's a difficult scenario. I think what I would do is just a very dick thing. Is I would like maybe subtly encourage, well, maybe you should live your best life.
You should sow your wild
without
oats.
Me. Maybe being with me is like is not, you're not getting much life experience. So
because I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to bucket list anything. I don't want to do anything. So if you want to do that stuff, which I would encourage, so you would make them break up with you.
Yeah, I think that might be, or just be a real dick for a while. Come home late, real drunk, with my dog that she wanted me to keep outside.
Bro down with the dog.
Okay, Campbell, let's get into another one. I mean, obviously,
I always
we
preemptively went for the thing.
The only reason why I want to just tell you the top voted today I learned.
You know what, Nelson? I know that it's our time it's tuning into, but this is the end of the year. And the episode's a little long. It's a bumper issue, isn't it?
It's not a problem. Yeah. Next year, we're going to obviously be much more succinct in our episodes. So this year, we can just go ham. Yeah. But next year, it's going to be and just an hour every time.
I would say if you've seen the runtime of this episode and you're like, oh boy, it's a longie.
Yeah.
Do it in parts.
Do it.
Listen to some of it before the new year. Listen to some of it in the new year.
And just know that.
Don't listen to it in 3 parts.
Don't listen, just 2 parts.
Just
max.
2 parts.
Max.
I will allow and 4 also parts in rare conditions, but never 3.
Never. It's an odd number. It just feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay, this is the top today I learned. It's by MJ8930. Today I learned of Dr. Donald Hopkins. He helped eradicate smallpox, and he's on the verge of killing another disease. He's taken guinea worm disease down from 3.5 million cases a year to just 28 cases last year.
Wow. And if I remember correctly, didn't he forfeit many billions of dollars by essentially making the smallpox vaccine accessible to all?
Yeah.
There were some statistics that, like, if he had privatized it and sold it at a rate that you would sell, other medicines, he would have made something. It was something astronomical, like tens of billions of dollars.
Right. Yeah. So definitely, I think that is one of the rare cases of MJ. I know the polio, I think, had the same thing.
Maybe I even had them confused.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably it doesn't sound familiar that smallpox was privatized and whatever.
Otherwise, it'd definitely still be around.
Definitely would be. But I don't know. I thought that was some uplifting news. Very interesting. And still going, right? Smallpox.
Yep.
and then he's just guinea worm disease. That's no good.
Yeah.
Don't have that.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
I'd never heard of it, probably because of him.
Probably because of him.
Yeah.
There are 3.5 million cases. That's a lot.
Hmm?
Actually, there's a lot of people in the world, so
Yeah.
still a small percentage. Mate, work on cancer. What's he doing with these little...
If you're good at curing stuff, that's a biggie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have yet to crack that.
Don't... Guinea worm disease? If this specifically affects guinea pigs, it hasn't said anything about humans here.
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
be so annoyed. You're wasting your time, man.
Unless he accidentally cured smallpox because he was working on guinea worm disease for guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And then he's
Then
like,
maybe.
oh no, but instead it cured smallpox
Yeah.
instead. And like,
Yeah.
can I have it? And that's why he didn't privatize. Like, yeah, take it, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
working on the guinea pig thing.
No, he's a great man.
Yeah. Great guy. All right, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Yorkshire 45. Whoever created the tradition of not seeing the bride in the wedding dress beforehand saved countless husbands everywhere from hours of dress shopping and will forever be a hero to all men. Did we talk about this one?
No, I don't think
I
so.
definitely saved this one before, but I
have you?
may not have used it. But I think this was the absolute top voted
Yeah.
of this year.
Okay, so there's two distinct possibilities.
Yeah.
Either a man has invented this to get out of doing a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
which is a very real possibility, or a woman has invented it because taking a guy shopping,
Yeah.
I think, would actually be worse for them as well.
Yeah, I think that
Because
does
you'd
go
be like,
two
what,
ways.
what do you think about this? And like, yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
Hey,
They,
you always look good.
they're all fine.
Yeah.
All of these are fine.
Yeah.
I would
And, like,
marry you in all of these.
The last thing you want is on your wedding day to be like,
Yeah.
how do I look? You're like, yeah, good. Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
Look good.
yeah.
So just
I thought-
remove that altogether. Be like, you know what? You can't see me
Yeah.
until literally the moment you're going to marry me.
yeah.
And then hopefully by then you'll be so full of emotion and nerves and everything
Yeah.
that you'll just be pleased to see me. You
Yeah.
haven't seen me in a while.
I think also...
You just don't know where I am. I'm here now. You're happy that I'm here. You'll be far more pleasant.
Yeah. I think it's also funny as well if the husband is like, oh, you got the one with the the stitching across the back that looks quite nice. And she's like, no, that was a different one. you don't want that argument either.
No.
Because then the guy thinks they all look the same.
So in a way, this is completely mutually beneficial to both sexes.
It's great.
It's
It's
good
a
stuff.
great system.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we should maybe implement?
Well, I think that really women have blocked men out of most of the wedding.
yeah.
It's kind of like you show up here at this time,
yeah.
just stand there,
Yeah.
don't do just stand there.
Yeah.
I'll arrange everything. I'll come in. I'll do the big entrance.
Yeah.
You just stand there.
Yeah.
And then when the man asks you,
Yeah.
say yes. And every
Yeah.
guy's like,
Yeah. Okay.
all right, bit much, but all right.
He's like, should I hold the rings? No, get your friend to hold the rings.
Who's your most
okay?
trusted friend?
Your
You know
most
what? Give it to a kid. Give the rings to a kid.
Yeah, I trust little
yeah,
Jimmy far more than I trust you. Yeah, okay. I think.
Just quick public service announcement, because I used to film weddings.
Yeah.
If you're a best man and you got a wedding coming up and you're thinking this will be a good gag, I'm the best man, I'll pretend I don't have the rings.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you not to do it.
Okay.
It happens at so many weddings.
Yeah.
And at most it gets,
Do you know what I think the problem is? They don't commit to it enough.
no. You'd be on your hands and knees. Through the eyes, we're like, I'm dead serious.
Everybody get down. I'm serious. I walked from over there. I was at the back before. Somebody check that corner.
Yeah.
I was
You-
on the
you-
trampoline.
yeah.
Why is there a trampoline here?
Because here's the thing. They pat down the breasts of their suit.
Yeah.
Then they look over and they give a shrug and then they pull it out. You need to pat down the breast of your suit and go, oh, fuck! Oh, my God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So it can work.
it can
you just
work.
need to commit.
You just
Joke is all about commitment.
one or the other. One or the other. Don't
yeah.
go halfway like some loser. I think you should.
If you get the bride
Yeah.
on her hands and knees looking for the ring, You've pulled off that joke. Wonderful.
That's when you know you've made it to the end.
I did have it when I came in. It is somewhere in the church. Everyone, get up.
Extra points if she's crying. Anyway, okay, here's another one campaign. This is by Pirates, my man. Dads probably bond with dogs so much because in our society, men don't get shown a lot of affection, but dogs give tons of affection regardless.
Because it is the classic trope of the dad doesn't want the dog.
Yeah.
And then the dad becomes best friends with the dog.
Yeah,
Didn't necessarily happen with my dad.
Oh, right, yeah.
He didn't want the dog, and then we got the dog, and then he remained quite indifferent to the dog.
Right, yeah.
For the entirety of the dog's life.
Yeah. Until it met its untimely end with a shot to the head.
By my father.
Yeah.
Who did not care for it.
We had that with our cat, our family cat. My dad didn't really want it, and then the cat just ended up loving sitting on his lap the most. Right. And so, I mean, I think he didn't still love it, but so was like kind of forced into the relationship by the cat.
So what this really proves is behind every grumpy dad is a warm, fuzzy heart, and they're all kind of big, fluffy cowards.
Yes. Yeah, jerks. That's why I'm never having kids. I'm going to be a hard man my whole life. I know I joke about not liking dogs. Okay. But this is probably the thing I hate the most about dogs.
What, the affection?
I hate that they're so affectionate for no reason whatsoever. You're like, this is
just high on life.
This is dumb. Have some wits about you.
I think some people are just jealous that they wish they could be that unjaded. Like, that you wish you could just be like, oh my God, you're here. That's the best. Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the best day. Oh my God. What do you got in your hand? What is that? What is, like, I think some people do like wish that they could see the world through a dog's eyes and know what it's like to always be joyous.
Yeah.
So I think there's that kind of, I think that's why people connect to it.
Yeah.
Whereas cats are like people. They're pretty indifferent to most things.
Yeah. See, I respect that. Yeah. I respect the cat. Okay. Dogs.
They don't take a firm stance on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, here. I guess that's fine.
But don't you feel like, there's been days where I've been like, I don't know, going to a friend's house or something, and I'm not like in a chipper mood, and the dog runs up and is so happy to see me. I'm just like, just calm down for a bit.
So it was like,
I'm just not on your level.
Dogs are the equivalent of that guy that's a real morning person.
Yeah.
Like you get into work, they're like, oh, hey, Nelson, what's going on? How was the weekend? You're like,
yeah.
Give me a sec.
Yeah.
In fact, I know that we're fans of the TV show Parks and Recreations.
Yeah.
And hopefully people listen to, it's a pretty popular show. So I would say that most people are familiar with it.
Yeah.
And there's characters of Andy and April. And there is the metaphor that Andy is a dog and April is a cat.
Yeah.
Which I think is very true. And Andy is like the dog of people. He's just so happy and everything's great and he's so excited about everything.
Yeah.
But do those people annoy you as well? In life?
The people that are too chipper? Yeah, I think so.
But then that makes sense that the dog's affection would annoy you.
Yeah. But then I'm not really, I don't really appreciate more, like depressed, serious people more that cats reflect necessarily. I just want somebody middle of the road. Sometimes happy.
Good old human.
Sometimes crushing depression. That's just your average human.
Yeah.
That's all I'm after. Here's another one. This is by Belly Bell. Girls don't compliment guys because they're likely to take it non-platonically. Guys take it non-platonically because it happens so infrequently, they don't know how to handle it. Do you agree with that statement, do you think?
Yeah, there's probably some truth to this.
Yeah.
I think that, like, I would say, and I don't want to brag, that we're both pretty well-adjusted, sensible guys, that we could be complimented by a girl and not be like, oh my God.
No, she's so
what does this
interesting.
mean? Yeah. But I think definitely during, like, puberty.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I think this was definitely way more of a factor.
Yeah. I was listening to just the other day, this was like a bit of a tangent, a little bit, but there was a girl who streams on Twitch, and I was just watching a little bit of her show, and she does like a Dr. Phil thing. She calls it Dr. Pokey, and she talks to people.
Is she licensed or?
She makes a point of saying that she's not licensed at all.
Legally, she's in the clear. Then.
Yeah. And there was like this one kid I only caught half the conversation or not even. And you could just tell, I was like, oh man, I don't miss being a teenager.
Yeah.
Where like just everything seemed so serious and so like, you know, everything was crushing and life changing and whatever. And it just seems so like school seems so harsh for this sort of kid because he's worried about what other kids are saying about him. And you just know that it's totally irrelevant at the end of the day, but he just needs to grow up to find that out. And I don't think you can tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
Everybody has to
experience
that themselves and work it out.
I know that we do have some younger listeners. And so just so you know, every problem that Nelson and I ever had before the age of 25, all turned out that they were fine.
It was all fine.
So
yeah,
I know that it sees like a big deal, but it's like me and Nelson, you'll realize that it's fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. Everything is fine. But I do think I've probably reacted this way before to girls, actually. They give me a lot of
And I think
attention.
everyone's got like a bad breakup in their past or something like that, where you've like, obviously you've been like coming through puberty or something like that, and like the emotions are so heightened and etc.
I think the problem can be that I feel like there is a genre of girl that can be more complimentary and more sort of hyper around guys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
So then when that person is flirting, you can't tell the difference because they kind of are sort of that way.
So
and not that there's anything wrong with...
But they've got like quite flirtatious personalities.
Yeah. Right. And not that you should take that as like being, they're trying to get with you. Mm-hmm. But if they're complimentary to everyone and then they're trying to flirt with somebody and being complimentary as well, you can be like, well, this person is just... acting normal. But so I think every now and again, if you happen to be that person, guy or girl really, then you should just occasionally be an arsehole to people you're not interested in. You don't want to flirt with.
And you know what? Guys can compliment other guys as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, so gay.
But like there is like definitely a weird stigma about it. Like I couldn't be like, hey Nelson, you look really handsome today. Yeah. Society would deem that is not okay. Yeah. But you know what, Nelson? You do look very handsome today.
Oh, thank you, Kempe. You're here. I just can't do it, Kempe. Okay, Kempe. Let's now get into podnapping.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping. Can I just do one quick last one that I forgot? In Ragnarok, this is by user Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. During a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. It's so dumb.
Will there be any better?
I was like, this is so dumb. And I thought about it. I was like, this might be technically correct. I'm like annoyed that I had to think about that. And it's probably, there's some truth to it.
Yeah. You've put far too much thought into it. So this is podnapping. We podnap a segment from another show.
I forgot that.
So it's my week this week. So I said to you as you got here, I've actually realized I thought I had more. Yeah. And I realized I'm like so out of podnapping segments. Yeah. That I think I like you. I might have to start inventing some. But this is more of a topic of conversation that's come up. And it's actually, since we're doing the best of show, I'm bringing back a segment that we did earlier this year. Okay. Which is the podcast, How Did This Get Made?
Okay, yeah.
And specifically, I want to talk a little bit about the movie Cats.
Yes.
Which seems to have divided the internet. I showed you the trailer just before we watched. Yep. And there are people that are really for it and people that are really against it, mainly coming down to whether or not you're comfortable just looking at the people on screen. It does seem to be dividing people because they have CGI'd cat bodies onto people. Like it's not makeup or anything like that. It's all completely CGI. Something that they've patented called digital fur technology.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't that good.
But before the movie came out, they were like, we've invented this thing called digital fur technology. And then the trailer came out and the consensus seems to be like, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have invented that.
How much did you spend on the patent? Don't undo that.
Especially because I showed you the trailer and then for some reason another clip started playing of the original stage show Cats.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I think they pretty much look like the stage show.
Yeah.
But that would have been millions of dollars less money to just do the stage show.
To just do the stage show thing. But yeah, because it was surprising, just from my point of view, before you continue, sorry, is that because I'd heard all the drama about it, but I had literally not watched the trailer at all. And so I knew people were like, oh my God, the images of the cats are so weird. And like, how did somebody even give the green light to have this go ahead? And I really did just think, I was like, oh no, I think this is perfect. Like, they're meant to look, my image of cats, I've never even seen the stage show, but I know what the characters look like in the stage show. And I thought, like, they're meant to look a bit kind of weird. Like, the way that they were portrayed in the movie, I thought was very accurate to the way that they were meant to be portrayed on the stage show. So I'm confused why. I thought maybe there's just a whole bunch of people who didn't see the stage show.
Well, this is what I think, right? Is that people are aware of the play Cats tangentially.
Yeah.
And then the trailer of the movie came out, and it's kind of people being like, wait, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Because that's what that is.
Yeah, I think that's
the play
true.
is famously like kind of plotless, doesn't really have a storyline, doesn't really make much sense. It's based on a book of poems by T.S. Eliot.
Yeah.
It was adapted by Andrew Lloyd Webber to be this weird like beat poem musical about kind of nothing and about the randomness of cats. People dress up as cats.
I was going to say that
it's weird.
I think the idea was they were going to come up with a storyline for a feline, it just like, it's interesting on the street, living on the streets as a cat. What does it get up to? But the answer, not much.
Yeah.
So they were just very true to a cat's life.
But what I really do enjoy is an internet pylon.
Yeah,
and that is what's
everybody
happened
loves an internet pylon.
That's what's happened to cats. So
it's like what happened to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also love that.
Yeah. That was good.
So the reviews, it was embargoed all the way up until it was just before it released, which is never a great sign.
Yeah.
Normally means they're trying to not get any word out. But I actually found this on Reddit. This is where I stumbled upon this.
Okay.
In r/movies, one of the subs that I follow.
Okay.
It was
That's
called,
surprising that you follow r/movies.
This was just the Cats review roundup.
Yep.
And there were just a bunch of quotes from different reviews. And I love it when people go full tilt.
Yeah, okay.
So these are just small snippets of reviews from Cats. The Boston Globe said, "My eyes are burning. Oh God, my eyes." Collider said, "Can you make a movie so bad that the Academy takes back your Best Director Oscar?" Asking for Tom Hooper. The Beat said, "Cats is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs." And the LA Times said, "Cats is both a horror and an endurance test." So
it just seems not anywhere near as bad as these people are making out.
Well, even the playlist said, "Once Tom Hooper's 110 minutes of Cats are over, theater is dead, and we are the unchosen ones that are left tragically to continue living."
Oh no!
So this is what I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
It's getting like terrible reviews.
Yeah.
And if you remember last time we podnapped, how did this get made? We did a segment called Second Opinions.
All right.
Where so what I've done, it's very new, so it's not on Amazon yet, which is where they normally come from. So I've gone onto Letterboxd, which is a popular movie rating app.
Okay, yeah.
And I filtered the reviews by 5 stars.
Okay.
To see who's loving cats.
Okay.
And here's the thing that I found when I did this, because I just did this in my own free time.
Yeah.
And I thought I kind of want to bring this up. I don't know if these are better.
Okay, yeah. Oh, no.
So these are 5-star reviews from about cats
Okay.
from Letterboxd. This is from someone called Lindsay. Said, okay, 5 stars. Okay, listen. There's so much to love about this movie. Have you ever seen the cast have this much chemistry? Well, now I have. They were all so horny from the setting, and the setting was so dark and dingy that every moment I feel like I was at a really seedy strip club for furries.
What? Okay.
RJ said, "This is my Avengers." And there's a theme here.
Yeah.
Chris said, "A deeply horny movie." 5 stars.
Why is it so horny?
I don't know. That's the thing, is the word horny comes up a lot in these 5 stars reviews. The greatest film ever made. There is no film. There is only cats. And this one here from Jack just says, "Merry fucking Christmas," 5 stars.
Okay.
But the problem is the people that love cats seem to be
I feel like I was sarcastic about liking
Sarcastic.
cats.
But just love the horniness of cats.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird aspect. But
Maybe next time I go to watch porn, Cambo, I might switch on cats.
but this is what this is really the only thing I wanted to bring up. Because like I said, I love a pylon.
Yeah.
And the critics have piled on the negative reviews. But even when you filter the best reviews, it's still just a pylon of bad reviews. And I've never seen it go both ways like that.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle around 3 stars must be where the review's like, it's all right.
I think I need to watch this film.
I just need to know how horny it is.
I've never been so certain about watching a film that I'm so uncertain about. Yeah, I think I don't know. Could be. Do you know the thing that puts me off the most? Believe it or not, is I can't even remember her name. Who's the Australian actress?
Oh, Rebel Wilson.
Oh God, I really can't stand that woman. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what she did to irk me. I think it's the fact that she plays the same character in everything that she does. It's not genius acting or anything.
I just remembered this review from the Culture Shocker.
Oh, okay.
This is the most fun I've had in the theater all years. It's like a fever dream. It's like bad drugs. It's like getting jerked off and punched in the face at the same time.
See, I need to see this film. I don't quite know what that experience is.
I don't know what that emotion is.
Yeah.
And maybe there's because emotions are a spectrum.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a section of the spectrum that we've never visited.
Yeah, we unlocked something completely new.
So anyway,
it's only one way,
and
Cambo.
if anyone that listens to the show has seen Cats, let us know.
Yeah.
Just let us, and the box office would say that not many of you have.
Yeah,
But I just want to know what your emotions were.
What are you thinking?
Because it seems to be really hitting chords for good or woe.
How horny are you? Is what we want to know. Okay. Thank you, Cambo, for that podnapping segment.
Short but sweet. It's a long episode. I wanted to keep it relatively short.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. Now we can get into the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can run in and ask us anything you want. I'm just going to do a quick one before you start.
Sure.
This was by Hazim. It's not a question, but I felt like I should read it out. He said, "Gentlemen, I can't believe you guys missed the loophole in your perks segment regarding the minimum wage job.
Oh my God.
It doesn't restrict you to one job."
Oh my God. He's good.
God, he's bloody.
He's good.
The teacher has become the student has become the teacher.
Yeah.
The master.
Yeah.
I got there in the end. You could have 5 jobs where you just show up one day a week for an hour at each job and take home $10,000 a week. Bloody hell. Okay. Also, he links a Reddit article here. It says Australia. This is a Reddit post. It says Australia's democracy has been downgraded from open to narrowed. And he said, "I suspect this may have to do with the blackface comments from the other week." Also, fondoodler, a hot glue gun for cheese. Build with it, write with it, cook with it. Fiesta and cheddar. And he's linked an Amazon link where you can buy a hot glue gun for cheese.
Oh my God.
Somebody invented it.
Well, and I did actually see our Prime Minister trending on Reddit the other day. And because we make fun of Trump and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're living in a glass house.
Yeah.
Because what was trending on Reddit is as the country is still, we talked about bushfires a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they're still going at the moment. Like a fair section of the country's on fire.
Yep.
And I would say unhappily to most of the nation, our Prime Minister took a family holiday to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Which didn't go over super well, but I saw that trending on Reddit.
Right.
But the consensus seemed to be from the rest of the world. It's like, oh, thank God that we're not the only ones. There seems to be kind of these self-indulgent leaders everywhere.
Yeah. Not great. It does seem like we have. I feel like in the world in general, we've narrowed a little bit.
Yeah.
Except maybe the Scandinavian countries, they seem to be still doing pretty well and have open policies and things like that. Anyway, go on, Cambet.
Okay, so I've got one here from Amy titled Nothing Wrong with Failing. She says, "Gentlemen, I haven't written in for a while, but rest assured I'm still listening every Tuesday and loving the content. First up, Nelson's umbrella I hardly knew a joke deserves 5 stars for complexity and..." Sorry, killing my throat. Where was I? Well and truly redeeming him for the awkward surprise interview from a month or so ago. Looking forward to seeing what new podnapping segments you come up with and seeing everyone's Secret Santa presents. Brought mine already. That's a good reminder. If you haven't sent your present, please do that right now.
I've definitely sent mine. So don't worry about it.
My question this week is Big Talk, one of our favorite segments. Fair warning. So last week I went to an interesting talk called How to Fail at the School of Life. Well worth looking up online. And my question for you is, what event in your lives you consider a failure and what you've learnt from it? And if you were to write it as a scandalous headline for the Daily Mail / Herald Sun, what would it be? For example, talentless loser wastes life and money on poor career choices. This is obviously not us, just an example from the talk. The point was to be able to laugh at how failures are often exaggerated instead of seeing how useful they are in helping you figure stuff out. Anyway, wishing you both a Merry Christmas and I hope it's full of delicious treats like pavlova and chocolate ripple cake, Amy.
Right, yeah. That was a good question. Good big talk question.
Good big talk question.
And I actually really sort of identify, I think, with this idea of failure makes people grow far more than success does.
We've never interviewed another famous Redditor.
Yes, that's...
Some would say the first time we did that.
Yeah. Was a failure in and of itself? Is that what we're saying?
A little, yeah.
So we're saying, Kim?
I think I am.
I thought it was a success. What do we learn from that? Don't do that again.
Don't do that.
No, that's a good one that you bring up. Yeah, when we did interview PM Me a Tits Girl, I felt like we were too reserved. We haven't then gone on to do another one, but I just felt like we weren't really ourselves. I think in that interview, and we were maybe a little bit more like hesitant to be like, oh well, this guy's being nice, but he was just such a weird person. Anyway, yeah, that's a really good one. But I was going to say Richard Branson's autobiography he talks all about failure and how that made him so successful.
Yep.
And how he had dyslexia. Is that how you say it? Yeah. And that made him fail far more frequently as a young person just through school. It was a real struggle for him. And so that kind of built up his tolerance to, I think, failing, which I think, I think personally, I haven't failed enough in life in certain aspects. Or sometimes if I have failed, I feel like I didn't learn enough from it.
Yeah.
Or just kind of skirted the next time where that might be an issue for me rather than doing it head on.
I do have an example of a failure that both of us were connected to.
Yeah.
It's not like a big life-altering failure or anything.
Yeah.
But years and years ago, we participated, and we may have even talked about this in the past, we participated in the 48-hour film challenge.
Oh,
in which you have to write, shoot, edit, and submit a short film in 48 hours.
Yeah.
And we thought, this is great.
Yeah.
We have the best idea. We were delirious on Red Bull and no sleep.
Yeah.
And our shooting experience, in which we got permission from a business, quite a big business, to film in their location, resulted in us setting off the fire alarms, evacuating the whole facility, having the fire brigade called, and then after 40 hours, turning in one of the worst films either of us have ever made. For some reason, we just committed and actually handed it in. Yeah. Again, delirious from no sleep and Red Bull.
Yeah.
But I would say that when eventually made another film called Bite a few years later, that was a well-oiled machine of planning and efficiency and checks before and whatnot, which I think was all learnt from a shoot so bad that it affected probably 200 people.
Yeah. I actually remember something specific for that where we were at the place where we set off the alarm. Yeah. And you were like, well, that's it. We're not doing it. And I was like, no. I was like, we're doing this. Yeah. We've literally hit rock bottom. We did the worst thing possible. There is no way to go up but here. And even though we did submit such a shitty short film called Ship Out of Luck, we like I'm still I think glad that we did it for that reasoning of,
me too.
you know, having that failure. And I think that would have been the point where, you know, if we had said, okay, we're done, we're not going to do it this time, I think we would have learned a lot less than going through with what we did.
And if you want an insight into how delirious we were after no sleep, too much Red Bull, having a place evacuated, the fire brigade call, you need to evacuate and then reschedule your shoot. At the end of our movie, Ship Out of Luck, there's a theme song that we all sing
Should we
and
do it,
recorded
Should we do it? We could
I don't know if I necessarily even remember it. I remember the last little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes, Ship
out of luck.
Anyway,
that was it.
we
Perfect.
recorded that on a laptop,
Yeah.
stuck it over the end credits and went, this is good.
This is hilarious.
This is a good thing.
Funniest part out of all of it. I remember the sound quality being really bad as well. Like we just didn't
like,
do.
when we
you
say
couldn't hear the conversation.
I need to clarify. When I said we recorded through a laptop, we didn't plug a microphone into the laptop.
I mean, even just the recording of everything else in that. Not just the voiceover bit at the end, but I think the whole thing just sounded really bad. It was a really bad one.
Yeah. So let's take that as our failure.
Okay.
Headline for that.
Oh yeah, headline.
We need a headline. I feel like it should be two idiots ruined everyone's day for terrible film.
For terrible film. I think it should be titled Ship Out of Luck. Yeah, that's a good one there.
Thank you.
I was just going to say, I remember one which I think is, I don't know, it always sticks out in my mind where I had this, I was in a sales job for a little bit and I went to speak with this one guy who was trying to put arcade game machines in his foyer of this establishment that he opened. And as I was talking to him, I was like, did pretty well at like our conversation and convincing him. Yep. He actually already had machines there.
Right.
And I was trying to push out this competitor and put us in. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is good. He's like, oh, these guys, they never contact me and it's really annoying, blah, blah, blah. And so then I said, he was like, look, I'm going to give them another chance because I'm already with them. But he said, I'll give you a call if they don't contact me within like 2 weeks or something. Oh, no, I think he's like, I'll give you a call soon if they don't contact me. And so I was like, okay, cool, no worries. And then so I left. And then I just didn't hear from him for ages. And I was like, okay, well, like I've got nothing. But I think I had like a slow day one day. I was like, I'll just give him a call. First mistake I made was forgot his name. Didn't write it down anywhere. Yeah. So I called up and he answered the phone. And I was like, hi, it's Nelson here from, and I was just talking about the arcade games the other week. And he's like, yeah. And like instantly I can tell his tone has changed and he's just like annoyed that I'm calling. Mm-hmm. And I was like, look, I understand you've probably decided to stay with these people because he said he was going to call me. And he's like, no, he's like, you didn't call me back. You said you were going to call me and I didn't hear from you. And I was like, and he got really angry. And then I kind of got annoyed, but then, end up ending the conversation much sooner. And that was when I feel like I learned a really valuable lesson, which was like, don't trust people about, particularly in the sales, about them calling you. Like you've always got to make the first move in any. It's not even sales, I think. Just like wanting to get in contact with anybody, you just do it. You make the first move. It doesn't matter what they've said. You still follow up with them, whether it's like going for a job or something, or maybe you're trying to rent out a house or something. You haven't heard from the real estate agent. Like you just make contact all the time. People, will always assume that they're right. So you can't ever go back on that idea of somebody saying, oh, well, I did, like they said the responsibility was with them. It's like, don't worry about that. Like call them and that's fine. Like you're not going to anger anybody. Like I think that maybe there's a fine line. Like if you do it way too much, that's annoying.
There's a difference between persistence and annoyance.
Yeah. But I think that really taught me a valuable lesson that I've carried through for like a whole bunch of things, basically. So, yes.
Is that why you call people for surprise interview before they call you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah. And I think the cover of that I would call Ship Out of Luck. Anyway, let's get into one last one here.
Sure.
This is by a Reddit user called Gone Emotionally. This question is for Nelson, although I think that you could probably answer this one a little bit.
Okay.
What is a good introductory tabletop game? I've played Ringmaster, but I want something more strategic.
Okay, more strategic. Okay.
Strategic, you might not. Just tell what's one that you maybe enjoyed.
The one that I've been enjoying lately that we've played quite a few times, and I think it's very entry level, is a game called Salem.
Yep.
In which it's a very simple like tabletop card game.
Yep.
In which you all take the role of villagers in Salem during the witch trials.
Yep.
But one of you inevitably is handed a card that says you're the witch.
Dun dun dun.
And no one knows who the witch is except for the witch. And eventually it's a game about mistrust. Yeah. And you slowly do start revealing all of your cards, most of which will say not a witch, not a witch, not a witch, not a witch. And there is one witch somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So it becomes more and more intense the further people start revealing their cards. And it does make you mistrust everyone you're playing with.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. It's very easy to play.
Fun thing about that game, if you ever happen to play with Cambo's girlfriend Stacy, she's always the witch. It's actually some people probably heard maybe the game Mafia.
Yes.
If they have that, I think that was like kind of the first one that was like invented and became quite popular. And then there's this one. This one carries it forward a little bit more because Mafia is like the idea is. Yeah, some people in the mafia and blah, 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 people get killed off kind of thing. But the problem, I think, can be that nothing prompts people to make any accusations except for like, oh, I heard you move a little bit while we had our eyes closed or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, it's this one kind of moves the game along a little bit smoother in a way.
And Salem does tend to lead to some really great dramatic moments.
Yeah.
Where you really are so certain of someone.
Yeah.
And you're getting so paranoid that someone is after you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we play with normally about 5 people or so.
Yeah.
I think it's I'm not that into like super complicated games, but I really like that game. It's simple enough that I can enjoy it.
Yeah. So I have a couple games. I actually am not super well versed in board games, really. I love board games and I wish I played more, but I haven't actually played that many. One that I really love, and I got it for my birthday from you and Stacey, actually, which is called The Haunted House on the Hill.
The Haunting of the House on the Hill?
Haunting of the House on the Hill. Something like that.
Yeah. Google that and it'll probably autocorrect to whatever it's meant to be.
Yeah. And the mechanics of the game is really interesting. It's super easy to pick up.
Yeah.
You basically, now when I play with friends, we just start playing. I don't even explain the rules to them, basically. And you get to the point, you know what? It's betrayal at the house on the hill.
Yes.
Because the idea is that it's kind of cooperative up until a point, and then one person betrays the rest of the group. And that's a really interesting sort of concept about...
What I find really interesting about this game is because, one person betrays the group, but you never know who's going to betray the group.
Yeah.
Like, it's a random thing of being like, oh, Nelson is the betrayer this time because of circumstance, right?
Yeah.
But I love that everyone that ends up being the betrayer becomes so evil.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Flip a switch and you're like, I'm going to kill every one of you.
It's very true. Yeah. And so that's interesting because it does have a bit more strategy in it. Like you have to really think about, and there's so many different scenarios when this like kind of betrayal happens. There's actually like 20 or something scenarios. So you're not playing the same game every time. I've played it maybe 10 times and I don't reckon I've had the same ending. So that's a really interesting one. Also, there's one that I just bought for you guys, actually, which is called Ticket to Ride. Mm-hmm. And it's like you build railway stations across North America.
I'm less enthused about that one.
And I don't think you'll have that one as much, but I think it's a bit more, that's probably more strategic, I think. but quite interesting. And yeah, I don't know. There's like tons out there. I honestly reckon the best thing to do is just like go to a like game board place in your area and like ask people what is good, because there's some real big game board nerds out there, and they can give like awesome recommendations. And
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I reckon it's worth it. But yes, thank you, Gone Emotionally, and Amy and Hazim for writing into us.
Now, Nelson, I've got a predicament because this is a long episode.
Yes.
But I do have a Secret Santa
It's
present
not
here.
even, we've done worse.
Okay.
But
I have a Secret Santa present here that was sent to me. Should we do the traditional quick unboxing?
do the unboxing,
Okay,
Cambo. This is what we need.
Quickly pad, Nelson.
Okay. Pad. I've forgotten how to pad.
Okay. So I have a my Reddit on Reddit Secret Santa arrived just the other day, and I've decided to hold off opening it until the show.
Yep.
So shall we? Because I feel it'd be self-indulgent if I did it right at the top. Like,
Yeah.
new listeners, shut up.
When I get mine, I'm planning to put it at the top of the show.
Okay. So the problem with Reddit on Reddit Secret Santa, especially if you're going international or whatever, is a lot of time it is revealed who Secret Santa is.
Yeah.
So Amanda had me.
Yes,
So
that's
she
right.
sent this box, which is quite a big box, I might add.
Yeah.
With many
Is it
stamps.
heavy? Oh, it's not super
It's
heavy.
not super heavy.
Okay, yeah.
With many stamps. But let's open it up.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm seeing a tote bag, Nelson.
Okay.
So it would seem that everything is in the tote bag, and do you want to read that out for us?
It says, I heart jury nullification.
Very good. Okay, let me clear the table. Okay, what is in the I Heart Jury Nullification? This is now a line of Reddit bags that we have.
Yeah, that's
courtesy
true.
of Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We should sell them, Cam.
There's several things wrapped here.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh, including a card.
Oh, a card.
Okay.
Throw that out. Joking. I'm going to open the card for you. Oh my
Okay,
god.
I think I've got
this
everything.
is really long. I'm not sure if we should read this on the...
Maybe we can keep it as a personal thing between us and Amanda.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, let's just
There are
leave that.
4 items in the bag. Should I start smallest to largest, the largest to smallest?
Largest to smallest, mate.
Okay.
I've heard something, a rumor, that's 100% true. The larger the present, the better it is.
Because a small present could be like a bar of gold, but if it's a large present, think about how big that bar of gold could be.
Before you open that
Yeah.
completely, can I just get a sense of how disappointed you'll be if there's no chocolate at all amongst these gifts? So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Can
10
I just
being
point
the
out-
most disappointed.
Can I just quickly point out the uphill battle that poor Amanda had to go through?
Yeah.
When I filled out my form, as a joke, because I knew you would see it,
Yeah.
under About Me,
Yeah.
I just arrogantly wrote, "You know me,"
Yeah. yeah.
with the intention that I would eventually go and change it. But here's the thing.
yeah.
I forgot to change it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all Amanda had to go on was the description,
Yeah.
"You know me."
You know me. And if you get this wrong...
So for that reason, I will let no chocolate slide.
Okay.
Because there's nothing specifically I said about, hey, you know
Alright.
what, chocolate would be great.
But she knows you, Cam. So,
Okay, what have I got? It looks like a t-shirt
a t-shirt.
of...
It says Nelson's better. What? And what does it say? I'm confused.
How would you describe this,
Oh,
Nelson?
okay. Yeah, it's like just like an arty face, I want to say.
Yeah, it's like a little... We'll take a picture. We'll take a picture. We'll put it
Check
online.
a picture.
I don't know how to
I feel
describe
like you need to look at this in a certain way. Oh, it's like... hold on, there's some wording here. So
There's one, okay.
hangdogout.com. Oh, it's a dog. That's what it is.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. I
turn
can
it back
see
to
it
me.
now. I can see it now. Here, I'll hold it up for you.
This is good audio. Oh, it is a dog.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah,
that's
it's a
cute.
dog. Yeah, okay,
great.
that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Cambo likes dogs. Check number 1. She does know you right
Okay.
at this moment.
Second largest present opening now.
Oh,
Hey, a mini
not
gingerbread
chocolate,
house.
Not chocolate, Cambo. Throw it out. Throw it out.
Nelson, I'm ashamed how much I secretly pick away at gingerbread houses so people
Yeah.
don't judge me.
I did that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a gingerbread person until there's a gingerbread house around, and then I just slowly munch away on that. Oh, it's like a little dog house as well.
Yeah,
It's
that's
dog
kinda
themed
cute.
as well. Okay.
Yeah, all right. She's done well.
Okay.
The wrapping paper has deers on it. Dogs would have been
Kind of
preferable.
like, they're kind of like the dogs
Okay.
of the forest.
I'm seeing a
film, right?
definite theme here.
There is a theme. There's a theme.
Okay, so it's a puzzle, the pup packing puzzle It's called Dog Pile.
Oh, okay, cool. Little
So
puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game completely made of dogs.
Yes.
Again, we'll take a photo of everything.
It's the box is bleeding.
Okay, and the smallest present.
Smallest one, obviously the worst. The worst present.
Oh, this reptile. Okay, here we go. And this is, it's called Dog Lovers.
Oh, it's
And
got to
it
be
is,
chocolate. It's got to be chocolate. Come on.
Playing cards.
Oh,
Dog-themed playing
so close.
cards.
So close.
You've done well, Amanda.
You've done very well. This is Cambo to a T, I think.
Yep. Literally a T.
Will a T-shirt.
Oh my God, she does know me.
So Cambo will post that on Reddit, on our subreddit, READIT podcast. Speaking of which, if you would like to ask us a question, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com. You can also reach us at Facebook, at Twitter, and our subreddit. Again, that's READIT podcast. And also, please go along and follow our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Reddit podcast, READIT podcast. And come sit with me on next Saturday or Friday, depending on where you're from. And I'll go through the notes. It is the bane of my existence at the moment, so I'll appreciate if you could sit there with me while I try not to harm myself. And that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later. Happy 2020!